Does the Bible say about betrayal? Part 6. Let's read the scriptures. In Genesis chapter 37 and verse 18 through 20. When Joseph's brothers saw him coming, they recognized him in the distance. As he approached, they made plans to kill him. Here comes the dreamer, they said. Come on, let's kill him and throw him into one of these cisterns. We can tell our father a wild animal has eaten him. Then we'll see what becomes of his dreams. In Genesis chapter 45 and verse 5. But don't be upset and don't be angry with yourselves for selling me to this place. It was God who sent me here ahead of you to preserve your lives. And in Genesis chapter 50 and verse 20. You intended to harm me, but God intended it all for good. He brought me to this position so I could save the lives of many people. Did y'all hear this scripture? There is literally a story in the Bible where Joseph was betrayed by his own brothers. His own family was plotting against him to kill him. They ended up selling him and he went on this long journey. But at the end of the journey, when he got the full circle moment, once he got the big picture, he told his brothers, don't be upset and don't be angry with yourselves for selling me to this place. It was God who sent me here. So what that tells me is that God can use your enemies to elevate you. And your enemies can also be in your household. Your enemies can also be in your family. Your enemies can be the closest people to you. Have you ever been betrayed by someone in your family? Have you ever been dogged out, talked about by your family? The same way God had a purpose for allowing Joseph to be betrayed and sold by his brothers, God has a purpose and a plan for allowing your family to betray you. You are not less than. There is nothing wrong with you. In fact, you might be chosen, because that was the case in this story. Joseph was the chosen one. In this story, and I hope y'all read the whole thing, but Joseph was the one chosen by God to go ahead of his family. There would be a famine in the land, which meant there would be no food. So God allowed the betrayal of Joseph by his family to send him ahead of his family to feed them later on. Joseph had a dream and his brothers didn't like the dream, because in the dream, Joseph said, y'all gonna have to bow down to me, but they had to bow down to him because he would be the one to feed them later on. Y'all read the story. I can't tell it all in just a short period of time, but God has a reason. Trust him. He says, you intended to harm me, but God intended it for good. Thank y'all for watching.